they're going to continue to be obstructionist and force Republicans to own any kind of repeal of Obamacare in 2018, that remains to be seen.
Michelle, we saw Paul Ryan at points during the healthcare talk sort of nodding sagely, almost in a pleased way behind the president last night. Was there something, was he thrown a bone by the president that would help him get something through Congress?
Well, I think that there's been some debate over whether there actually even was going to be an attempt to repeal and replace Obamacare, as the president, as he said, you know, this is more complicated than anybody ever realized, when in fact everybody has been talking about the immense complexity of healthcare reform for as long as healthcare reform has been a political issue. But so there's been some question about whether, you know, Congress was going to pass anything at all, and particularly whether they were going to be willing to repeal Obamacare without an adequate replacement and kind of suffer the wrath of the many Americans who are now faced with losing their health care and showing up at town halls indignant that this minority president is going to strip them of their health care.
Michelle Goldberg, please stand by. Paul, listening to...
I listened to the politics on the radio. I was thinking about poetry, and especially dark poetry. It's like a knife through cheese. It's kind of sucks. I don't like poetry, especially do not like dark poetry. I just don't care for it.
Oh, that was so cool.
That's on the next radio. Listen Sunday at 11 on GLT News and Ideas.
This is On Point, ahead in 20 minutes. An update from NPR News. At noon and 6 during Sound Ideas, we have a talk with Bloomington Police Chief Brendan Hefner. City's Talk talks about relations with Black Lives Matter, the body cam test program underway on possible immigration enforcement duties. And John Norton talks with singer-songwriter Sarah Schwab, normal ahead of her first Friday performance in Bloomington this week. Sound Ideas at noon and 6 on 89.1 GLT and WGLT.org, Bloomington Normal's public media. The forecast today, falling temperatures, cloudy tonight, the low 30.
Support for GLT comes from Green Top Grocery, a community-owned co-op supporting local, independent farmers and producers and creating good jobs paying fair wages. Green Top is currently looking for a passionate and dedicated person to fill the deli manager position. Details at greentopgrocery.com. This is 89.1 GLT and WGLT.org.
Support for On Point comes from Alere, delivering point-of-care diagnostics globally, helping to diagnose infectious diseases with molecular innovations to improve healthcare and impact clinical outcomes. More about molecular in minutes at Alere.us. Alere, knowing now matters. And Geico, offering auto insurance coverage for cars, trucks, or SUVs, and providing 24/7.
The only time I like poetry if it's cute. If the poetry is cute,
or 1-800
then it's okay.
Auto.
Otherwise,
I'm Tom Ashbrook. This is On Point. We're talking this hour with the president's big speech to Congress last night. What he said, what it may signal. John McCormick is with us, senior writer at the Weekly Standard. Michelle Goldberg is here, columnist for Slate. Paul Lisnick is with us from Chicago, political analyst for Chicago's WGN News, host of Politics Tonight there in Chicago. You can join us as well. What do you think? Is there room for some